Hey everyone, welcome to This One's for the Students, episode 3. And for the students out there, I wanted to drop in another message of hope and joy and something to think about as we are in Holy Week, the week that leads up to Resurrection Sunday, as we call it Easter Sunday. So here comes Easter, but right now, it's hard to think about Easter. It's hard to be happy about Easter because that reminds us of family get-togethers and all the fun we can have and spend that time together as a holiday. And remembering the resurrection of Jesus Christ, that's what we want to do. But as we march up to Easter, it's a good time to just reflect. But it's hard to do that when we're still dealing with this corona crisis. I know. Everything is still at a halt. And now you guys, you're going to be trying to do online schooling. You're still being isolated from your friends. And maybe your parents have even been laid off from their jobs. And entertainment places are still shut down. So what do you do? It's hard. I get that. So as we continue to be forced to live in this isolation, you might be thinking, man, this is really rough. Where is God during all of this? Doesn't He care for us? Is He even there? I don't know. But does He care? I want you to know that yes, God cares for you very much and that He's in control. And I think this week as we lead up to Easter, this is a great way to look and to reflect upon how much Jesus cares for us and how much He had cared for the whole world by sending His Son, Jesus Christ, to die for us. He loved you that much that He sent His Son to save us from sin. And Jesus took on the sin of the world upon His shoulders. He did that for us. Jesus came in the flesh, and He experienced everything that we experienced, but He did it without sinning. That was the main difference. So Jesus put Himself in our shoes, and He did it all the while knowing ahead of time that He was going to face pain and humiliation and shame, and He would face the cross, and He would suffer and die. And just to show you that He knew this, I want to read to you a scripture passage in Luke 18, verse 31 through 34. Now, before Jesus tells the disciples this, He had already predicted twice. He already predicted twice that He was going to have to suffer and die. But here's one selection here in Luke 18. And it says that, then He took the 12 aside. Jesus took the 12 aside, said, behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and all things which are written through the prophets about the Son of Man will be accomplished, for He will be handed over to the Gentiles, and will be mocked and mistreated and spit upon. And after they have scourged Him, they will kill Him, and the third day He will rise again. But the disciples understood none of these things, and the meaning of the statement was hidden from them, and they did not comprehend the things that were said. The disciples didn't understand this because, in their view, the Messiah shouldn't die. And that was just not possible, all right? Especially in Jerusalem. So they could not picture a Messiah that was going to die. But Jesus predicts that this is going to happen. He's going to suffer and die. Jesus knew from the beginning that the struggle would come. And I'm sure, and I know, because He asked the Father to take this cup from Him, I know Jesus thought, hey, I would like to skip through this pain and go right to the empty tomb. Right? Skip the struggle and go straight to the tomb part. And I bet you're thinking that you would like to skip all of this. And this is a struggle. This is pain. And this is going to continue on a little bit more. We don't know how long, but part of the not knowing is part of the struggle, right? But here's what you can do during this time. You can run the race with endurance like Jesus endured the cross. And Jesus knew that there is joy awaiting Him, right? He knew He would get through the cross and He would take on that terrible burden of the sin of the world, but He knew He would resurrect. And you know what? There's going to be joy waiting for us on the other side of this, right? We're all going to come back together with our friends, and we're going to celebrate, and we're going to have some fun. That's going to happen, so just hang in there. But until then, endure as you run the race. And this week, don't skip out on reflecting on the pain that Jesus endured before the tomb, because it does remind us how much He does care for us, because He endured for us, right? And when Resurrection Sunday comes, we can rejoice that God became man, and He conquered the sin of the world to make a way for us to spend eternity with him if we believe that Jesus is the Christ and he is the Son of God. So that's a message of great hope and joy. Reflect on that this week as we march up to Good Friday and we're coming to Easter. Just know that Jesus is there and he cares for you. All right, guys, keep on trusting in Jesus. Stay safe and wash your hands.